how's it going? In today's tutorial, you are going to learn how to paint this beautiful dot mandala design on a coffee mug. Now, why am I picking off the dots? Well, stick around to the end of the tutorial to see what it is that I'm up to. I picked up this coffee mug from the Dollar Tree, where everything is just $1, and it's just a regular coffee mug. Now, you do want to make sure that it is well washed and also clean it with some rubbing alcohol to ensure proper paint adhesion. Today's tools are all going to be handmade items or things that you probably already have around your house, like a toothpick, a Q-tip, and some pencils. So for the pencils, you just want to make sure that they have newer flat erasers. And then for the cotton swab, on one end, you're going to take all the cotton off. It is important to get the paper stick kind, not the plastic stick kind, because those just don't work as well. And then I'm just going to put a little bit of enamel paint or just acrylic paint on each end. On the stick end, just to kind of hold down some fuzzies. And on the other end, you just want to put a little bit of paint on and then kind of spread the paint down the shaft of the cotton swab and then kind of push on the cotton and kind of flatten it out on the tip. And you're going to let it dry. You do also want to have a damp rag just to clean your tools off with. Now these are the paints that I'm going to be using in this tutorial, but they will all be listed in this video's description below, and I will name them as I go. So we're working with 5 different size tools today. There's a large pencil eraser, a regular size pencil eraser, the cotton end, the stick end of the cotton swab, and then also your toothpick for the fine dots. So you just want to kind of find the center of your mug, and I'm starting off with the Enamels paint by Folk Art, and this one is called Wicker White. This is an acrylic paint. The only difference there is from regular acrylic paint is that it is able to be baked on to become permanent with the mug. So for the center dot, I used the largest pencil eraser, and I just kind of eyeballed the center and just wherever you want to start on your mug. And then we're going to be making tiny dots around the center dot. And I'm using a paint called Patina, and I'm using the toothpick here for that, and just make dots all the way around the center dot, as close as you can get them without touching, but give yourself some space if you're just a beginner. And you can wipe off and reuse your toothpick. Now this next color here is called Atlantis, and it's just a little bit more blue than the Patina. I'm using the paper stick end of the cotton swab, and just go ahead and make a crisscross around your ring of dots there. And then you're going to place 2 dots right in between each of those dots. So there's going to be a total of 12 dots going around your center. And then you can also reuse your Q-tip as well and just clean it off. And then for the next color, it's called Pure Orange. And we're going to use the cotton end this time. And you're just going to be placing a dot of the orange right in between on the outer edge of the blue dots. All the way around. Go ahead and do a crisscross. And then again, 2 in between each of those. Now this next color is called Nectarine. It's lighter orange, kind of like a yellow orange. And I'm using my toothpick, and I'm going to be placing 2 dots right in between each of the orange dots. Now that's just to fill in some space. If you would like to skip this step, absolutely feel free to do that. You can make this your own. The next color is called Lipstick Red. And I love this color. It really pops right off this gray mug. It's just... you can really see the project coming together here. So I'm using a regular pencil eraser, and we're doing the same as we were doing before, so it's just the next ring. So crisscross, 2 in between. If you don't feel like you have enough paint on there, feel free to re-dip your tool and then re-dot that same dot. That's perfectly fine. So I wanted to throw this in there as a little pro tip. If you're wanting to get smaller dots and all you have is a toothpick, you can absolutely sharpen it up and make it smaller on the tip with some sandpaper. Now I did let that row of paint dry just before I moved forward because we're going to be moving on to swipes, and they can get messy when you have a bunch of wet paint. Alright, so we're going back with the color Atlantis, and you want to make a dot with the cotton end of the cotton swab, and then you're going to take your toothpick and you're going to pull the paint and drag it down towards the center dot, right in between the red dots, and then you just kind of soften out those little sides, each side there, so it's more of like a teardrop shape. And then I just used my toothpick to swirl out the paint there, and then you can redot the dot end of it if you want with the cotton swab. That's up to you. You can leave it if you just like it swirled out. It's however you like it. And you're going to repeat these steps all the way around. Now I'm just kind of eyeballing the height difference all the way around. Just kind of right above the red dots, but I give it a little bit of room on each side. You'll get the feel of it once you get going, and like I said, make it your own. You know, it doesn't have to be exactly what I'm making here and what I'm showing here. Add your own colors, you know, add your own whatever you want to do with it. It's yours, and it's fun. It's about enjoying the process. Honestly, it really is. All right, I'm going back with the patina, and I'm going to make little tiny swipes with the toothpick right next to each of the larger teardrop shaped shapes. Yep, all the way around. And then we're going to go back with the stick end of the cotton swab, and I'm going to stick with patina and just place one right down in between the little blue dots and then two right above them. So they're like little bunches, like a little group. Now I've got some white, going back with the toothpick, and I'm going to just make little tiny dots, and they kind of look like little lace bridges is what I like to refer to them as. And you place your first initial dot right in between the little bunch or group of patina dots, and you dot all the way around to one side, and then redot your first initial dot, and then dot all the way around the other side. Now this right here is what I was picking off at the beginning of the video. I am adding one dot of the Nectarine. I later on changed that, but that's what I was doing at the beginning. And then we're going to do a couple more swipes here. We're using the lipstick red, making a dot with the cotton end of the cotton swab, and then pulling it straight down towards the blue swipes, straight in. Feel free to take your time with the swipes. I know they take a little bit of getting used to. And I really want you to keep in mind the fact that you can always fix it. You know, if it's terrible and you hate it, you can dot over top of it. You can wait for it to dry and pick it away if it's on something ceramic or glass. You can, while the paint is wet, you can just clean it up with a cotton swab. And I show that in many of my videos. So, you know, it's not the end of the world. Don't fret it, you know. Just move forward. Just keep moving forward. So this next paint is called Color Shift. This is Aqua Flash, and it's wonderful, beautiful paint. I love Color Shift. It's got to be my favorite. And I'm just going to make little top dots on the blue with the Aqua Flash. So I'm on top of the Atlantis. It just gives it a whole nother dimension of color and shimmer. It's amazing. And it can also be baked on as well to become permanent. So here I'm showing you what I was showing in the beginning of the video. I am going to pick off all the Nectarine dots. I just didn't think that they worked well enough. It was too clashy for me. So you know what? I just picked them off, and I'm going to replace them with the Wicker white enamel paint to kind of draw back out that white from the center there. And it gives the eye a place to rest, which I think is very necessary. And it really goes well with the whole blue ring that we got going on there. So that was why I made that decision. But if you like it better with the Nectarine or any other color that you're using, hey, feel free to keep it, you know, however you want it. No big deal. And I'm going to be also adding a little bit of that Aqua Flash to those larger Atlantis teardrop shaped dots there, just right on the dot part of it. Now the instruction for these is to place it in a regular oven. You heat it to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. You bake it for 30 minutes and then you cool it down in the oven as well before you remove it. Or you can let it air dry for 21 days. Both of those methods are supposed to make the paint become a permanent fixture with the mug. So either way, good to go. I hope you love this tutorial, and if you did, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Feel free to watch any of my other 80+ step-by-step lesson tutorials right here on YouTube for dot painting. And if you're new to my channel, of course, I would absolutely love to have you as a subscriber. Thanks so much for watching. See you real soon. Bye now.